stir something up, because somebody's got to get something moving around here. Oh, there's a big guy.
Host Ron Spomer has a feeling he's in Kansas on the hunt for big bucks on this episode of Winchester Whitetail Revolution.
Oh, this could be good, or I could blow it, but it's going to be exciting. We're going to go for it.
Winchester's Whitetail Revolution is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Otis Technologies, the most advanced gun care system in the world. Code Blue, perfecting the science of hunting. Winchester Rifles and Shotguns, the guns that work. Bushnell Optics, magnify life. For years, hunters knew the kind of big whitetail they grow in Kansas, but hunting was restricted to residents only. Things are different now, and out-of-staters like Winchester Whitetail Revolution host Ron Spomer have a chance to get a tag and hunt those great Kansas-bred bucks. Spomer will be hunting in prime whitetail habitat in northeast Kansas, near the small town of Holton, which was founded before the Civil War by pioneers in covered wagons.
Ron Spomer is coming back to hunt with me this fall, and I'm really excited to see him. Ron and I first met, gosh, back in probably the mid-'80s, goose hunting up in Missouri with mutual friends. And we kind of hit it off then and have had opportunities off and on over the years to hunt together. Hey, you made it.
Hey, Carl. Long time no see. Boy, you got warm weather for deer season.
Yes,
what are you doing?
Yeah, we do. Come here. Let's take a look at some maps.
Well, you got some aerials?
Got some aerials, and I can really show you what's going on, at least how I think it's going on.
Ron Spomer met his first Kansas whitetail over a .270 Winchester in the fall of 1981. He finds the Sunflower State's sparse population of country folk welcoming and appreciative of hunters, and its mix of grain fields, riparian brush, broken terrain, and tall grasslands is ideal habitat for deer. In some 20 seasons, Spomer has taken numerous 4 to 7-year-old bucks. While many hunters choose to sit and watch for deer, Spomer prefers to glass and stalk, noting where bucks feed, bed, and travel. Kansas' early December season brings sunny skies and warm temperatures, or clouds, wind, and snow. Regardless, the hunting is outstanding, and Spomer will keep coming back as long as he can.
This year, I've got the opportunity to hunt again with my friend Carl. Now, over the years, we've gone goose hunting together, turkey hunting together, bow hunting together, rifle hunting for whitetails. He's got a beautiful little farmstead near where his wife grew up in Kansas. It has been a slow whitetail year for me. I'm back in my favorite whitetail state, Kansas, and it is looking good. Got in here and it was extremely warm. Kansas whitetails, I mean, there are so many, and there's so many good bucks. They've got an excellent overall age spread on their animals. It's not a bunch of 2- and 3-year-olds. It's 3- and 4- and 5-year-olds.
Over the years, we are seeing that we happen to have genetically some nice bucks, and we're always seeing some nice large racks every season.
The last time I was here was probably 7 years ago, roughly 7 or 8 years ago, and he said it is really grown up since then, and it's really impacted the hunting. I'm a little bit worried about the warm temperatures. You know how deer are. When it's pleasant, they don't have to get up early to feed. They're not burning up a lot of energy to stay warm. So I'm hoping it'll cool down, and the long-range forecast is calling for a little bit of nasty weather, possibly even some snow. Look forward to that. I always like snow. Gets the deer moving more, makes it more comfortable to hunt, and lays down some tracking snow.
In a moment, we'll see if Spomer catches up to a Kansas buck. But first, let's visit Mike Hanbeck as he illustrates a lucky young hunter's buck of a lifetime.
We're gonna go for it.
Some things just seem fated to be. The buck of a lifetime may come at the end of a long hunting career. Or, as is the case in the story Mike Hanbeck is about to relate, it can come at the beginning. It's really all up to the deer.
Last August 29th, Colin Bourrier got into a stand behind his house in the Manitoba woods. The boy was only 15 and he'd never killed a deer with his bow before. After 20 minutes, a doe came in, but she stayed just out of range. Then he saw another deer, a buck. It ghosted from the willows, coat summer red, rat, dark and tall. He drew on the buck at less than 10 yards. He fired, heard a loud whack, watched the buck lunge and run off. Colin waited a few minutes in total disbelief, then ran to the house, got his brother-in-law Pete, and they began tracking with flashlights. Soon their lights shone on a huge velvet rack. The monster had 18 points, long beams, mass all over, and killer brow tines. After the velvet had dried, Colin's first archery buck netted $199 and change. From my research, I'm convinced this is the biggest buck ever shot by a 15-year-old bow hunter anywhere in North America. And how cool is that? For more big buck action, check us out on the web at versuscountry.com.
Hey, a couple of easy tips for sighting in. Of course, it always is a smart idea to sight your rifle in when you get to your hunting grounds, because who knows who threw it off a luggage rack somewhere, banged it against a post. Bring along a target. That way you don't have to use an old grocery bag like I have to do. Instead of trying to estimate 100 yards and hit it with your rangefinder, take your target out there, turn around, and range back to your shooting position until you're exactly at 100 yards, then set your target down. Rocket scientist told me that once. Oh yeah, that first shot was perfect. That'll work, folks.
It's unseasonable December weather here in northeast Kansas, and it's making the deer hunting hard work for Spomer. But the bucks are still out and moving around, and Spomer's not giving up yet.
Well, sun's been up for about 2 hours now. It's a beautiful still morning. You can hear everything. It's starting to pick up a little bit of steady wind out of the west now. I've been waiting for that to settle down. I'm going to try some still hunting now. I saw that doe running around back in the woods. Just by her little bit of actions, it looks to me like there's probably a buck with her. Oh, this could be good, or I could blow it, but it's going to be exciting. Doe ran in, came over that little grassy hill, and she could have gone anywhere. More extensive than I thought down here. This is a beautiful place to catch a running buck, though, man. Once you get down in here, it's pretty open. You can see underneath these trees. Well, back in the wind again. Did a really nice, long, exhausting still hunt through this big brushy draw with some mature oak woods in it. Everything in our favor except for the deer. All we saw were 3 does. Got within darn near bow range of those, but there's one snorting right now. There's a core area over here of cedars. It's just looking good. We've got lots of rubs around here. I'm gonna back on out of here downwind, get to the south and work up some more cover into the north wind. It doesn't pay to hang around here and spook them. Glad there aren't any grizzlies in Kansas. I'd hate to have to climb this tree to get away from one. Ooh, that is wicked. Black locust. Ugly tree. Very bad. Bad tree. Turkey, coyote, turkey. Wow, the turkeys have really been going through here. Big track right there. Whoa. Oh, there's a big guy. Ooh, I wish I'd have been here when he came walking down this creek. That is a good thick track. Nice and wide at the top. So we have to take it real easy. Let them settle down. Sometimes when this happens, if there's a buck with him, he'll get up and you start following him around and step into the open for a shot. So I just need to stand and wait for my opportunity. Now, if this were the rut, we'd have some action. We have some bucks joining in. Hey, if you want to shoot your deer, try to take an early season. Absolutely toughest whitetail hunting has got to be post-rut. It is tough. They can be anywhere, and they often are anywhere. They don't need to move other than feed and back into bedding cover. The old bucks have learned to do that while it's still dark out. You have got your work cut out for you. Go early. Oh, there's a big guy. We're gonna go for it.
Winchester's Whitetail Revolution is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Otis Technologies, the most advanced gun care system in the world. Code Blue, perfecting the science of hunting. Winchester Rifles and Shotguns, the guns that work. Bushnell Optics, magnify life. Should subsistence hunting, even by native North Americans, be restricted in order to manage trophy game? Listen to the debate.
There's been a hot button issue, especially in Canada, about native peoples being allowed to subsistence hunt. And there's nothing wrong with that, given that that's all that they do.
As far as subsistence hunting, I'm pretty short and sweet on this issue. I think, I don't have a problem with it. People are doing it in Canada and Alaska and out west and different places where there are certain, where these populations are. And subsistence hunting, it is what it is.
Trophy animals, especially what you find in that North Country, is a very, very delicate resource. It needs to be managed as such.
And I don't think we need to look at the greed factor. Is somebody going to start shooting big antlers or taking big skulls or big hides and selling them on the internet on eBay? you know, that's really a non-starter issue for me.
Can we just let groups of people run wild and shoot these game animals without any type of controls and laws and regulations? I don't think so. That just is not going to work in today's wildlife management philosophy.
I don't think we need to go in, like Mark says, and put any type of controls on it and worry about how greedy they are. Let these people do what they do.
They should be allowed to take those animals, but in a very, and I mean a very, very well-managed and regulated situation where no one is allowed to rape the resource.
This is an ongoing controversy, so give us your opinion by logging on to versuscountry.com.
This hunt is turning into the hunt from Hades. You know, we started off with high temperatures, shirt sleeve weather. That turned into a cold front that just was blowing, screaming wind. Makes for good stalking cover, but boy, we didn't come up with anything but does, and more does. Not a buck following them anywhere. And we've got a new section across the road. Carl's neighbor has granted us permission to go in there. No one's been in there all season. Could be some good bucks holed up in there too, and I guess there's a feed field right next door, and that increases the odds significantly.
Hey Ron, this is that ridge I was telling you about. There's a wooded bottom over the side. You take a look down through those trees.
Okay.
Good area where deer will hang out. I'm gonna slip over here and look at some alfalfa fields for some sign. I'm gonna slip around and do kind of a mini drive and work back my direction towards you.
That'll be good. Get something moving.
Yeah.
There's just nothing moving.
And if you don't see something then, hopefully there's good sign of the alfalfa. We'll slip over there for a set tonight.
Oh yeah. Finally, the buck. We finally found the buck. I can't believe it. Now I have to go get him. He looked like a 5x5. I didn't even take time to count times because he was a mature deer, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna go get him. Gotta be in here someplace. There's some, oh, a lot of blood now. Oh, there he is.
Carl, come here and see this. Talk about the last day, last minute. Holy mackerel, look at this guy.
Look at him.
I saw the body and it was just huge. I knew it was a big buck. Big neck, big body. Couldn't see the antlers for quite a while. Then he stepped into the open and I saw the antlers. I mean, there were more than enough tines and more than enough height. I knew that was a good deer, a good 3-year-old. I didn't want to shoot a yearling or a 2-year-old and held out, by golly. Pushing the envelope, going to the last afternoon of the last day. His antler tine stuck in the mud. He must have been doing some rubbing. A bit muddy on there, and then it froze on. Whew. His tarsals are still black and stinky, so he's ready for the girls. Looks like I got him just perfect too. Shot right through him with that little 100-grain bullet from that 243.
Is that right?
Yeah, surprise.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, a little PowerPoint really does the job on him. He didn't go far. He was hit pretty hard right away and just going in a little circle and flopped over.
Well, we earned this one, didn't we?
Oh, we worked hard for it, buddy.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations.
Carl, you're the best guy who never got a nickel for it. And I was just pleased as punch because this long, grueling hunt was over and it was successful. It would have been a great hunt, as we all say when we don't get one, just because of what we learned and the friendships and the being outdoors and all that good stuff. But we all, let's face it, we all want to get that good buck. And this guy was a gift from heaven. Man, what a deal. Do I really want to crawl in this snow?
Decisions. To crawl or not to crawl.